Hey guys, so today I was browsing Reddit and I saw this post. Can't get into Voldus with no 40 set. Can't get a 40 set because can't get into the Voldus. And this is definitely a problem that a lot of newer players experience right now. You see, when you miss kind of the prog week, right, where everybody doesn't really expect you to have like the highest level gear or whatever, they don't expect you to have the gear and the upgrades from the content itself to do it. It's a lot easier for people to get into parties then. But now everything's re-clear. A lot of people have done this content already, and they're expecting like 35 set, 40 set. I would say that 40 set requirement is kind of extreme, but I've definitely seen 35 set requirements for people to get into hard Voldus. And I was just kind of thinking to myself, right? I remember back in the day when I was watching some Loa on by Gold River, and he was talking about Vaulton. And he's like, look, we understand not every person playing this game is extremely hardcore. So the hardcore players can go and attempt Vaulton hard and get a little bit better rewards. But at the same time, if you can't do Vaulton hard, you can still do Vaulton normal and slowly progress your gear. And I thought that at the time, this was really, really cool because it was a game that had systems for people who are more, normal, casual players, but also let them have progress while, being casual, I guess, right? And people who are the more hardcore players can go challenge hard mode and get more mats faster and easier. So the people who are casual could still get the mats, but just a little bit slower. And the people who are playing the hard mode could get the mats faster. And I'm like, what happened to that? And how did it actually work, right? And I went back and looked at it, and I remembered. So if you take a look at this was the loot from Vaulton normal mode. And you got these things called Demon Beast Veins and the Demon Beast Bones. You guys are probably familiar with the Demon Beast Bones because these are what you use to craft your relic sets for, your entropy set, hallucination set, whatever, right? These were the first time you could craft those sets. Now, the Demon Beast Veins were legendary sets that did not have those bonuses, but you could use it to upgrade your gear basically and kind of make yourself a little bit stronger. So even though you were just doing Vaulton normal mode, you still ended up getting the materials that you needed to craft the higher level armors. Whereas with hard mode, you only got the Demon Beast Bones, right? You didn't get this Demon Beast Vein, but that's completely fine because at the time when you were doing Vaulton normal, you actually couldn't craft the Demon Beast Bone stuff, the relic set, until you got to the item level for Vaulton hard mode. And it was the same thing for Vicus, right? Vicus, you got these little claws and you got the wings, right? The claws were for the legendary set and the wings were for the relic set. So even though you were doing normal mode for both of these raids, you still got progress to the harder mode rewards. Even though you couldn't craft it or use it yet at the time, if you just kept doing normal mode and eventually honed up to the hard mode, you could, let's say, get the entire set the moment that you get to the required item level for hard mode. And that is just something that doesn't exist today. Yes, you can technically get 40 set with your normal mode elixirs, but how many people are able to do that? Like, the RNG is just so crazy that you could literally probably grind for an entire year through normal mode and probably still not get the 40 set with just epic elixirs. You would eventually need to make it to hard mode to be able to use the legendary elixirs and then be able to get the 40 set from there. So I feel like in many ways, the old raid design that they kind of got rid of might have been a better way to do rewards for raids. Because imagine if we got both epic elixirs and legendary elixirs for doing normal mode Voldus. Let's say you got the epic elixirs as rewards, like raw rewards, right? Kind of like what we do now. We get the materials to craft the epic elixirs at 1600. But imagine if you got a little bit of that like legendary elixir powder that you get when you break down a legendary elixir at 1600. So you couldn't use or craft those elixirs yet. But basically, if you kept running normal mode, you'd eventually amass amount of, a good amount of powders to where when you get to 1620, you probably have enough to craft quite a few legendary elixirs to push your character to 40 set, perhaps without even attempting hard Voldus. I think that that would be such a great thing to bring back into the game, because a lot of people are having this issue where when they get to the newer content, they just can't get into parties because they basically require you to have materials from the newer content to be able to get into the party. So it's like, I can't get into the party because I don't have this requirement, which I need to get from this raid, but I can't get in because nobody lets me in, right? It's just like an endless cycle. But if we had this situation again, where we get some of the materials for the hard difficulty of the raid from normal, I think that that would help with the issue a ton. Again, there is a little bit of RNG with Elixir, well, quite a bit of RNG, right? So technically, no matter how many pieces for legendary elixirs you get, you might still not get it, but it helps a ton, right? Just having those legendary elixirs out of the gate, getting to 1620 would be such a big help. And that was the case that they did with this one sort of as well, right? Because recently with the recent event shop, they added those like free legendary elixirs, which was very helpful. But again, it was only like a couple of them, right? Imagine if you could be at normal mode. Let's say you did normal mode for like 2 months or something like that and just amassed like, let's say 20 legendary elixirs. By the time you get to 1620, you can craft all those 20 and be able to get maybe even a 40 set. Like, that would be amazing. Same with Theamine, right? We have the lower level Transcendence here with, our normal Theamine, but hard unlocks a new level of Transcendence. Imagine if you didn't have to clear hard mode to be able to do that, but you just had to get to 1630 item level to be able to unlock it. That would be amazing and so helpful. That way, when you get to the hard mode, you immediately get access to those transcendences and are able to get that off the rip and are able to do hard Theamine well, and maybe even like hard Echidna well, right? That would be absolutely amazing, and I really wish that they would do this again and bring it back to this kind of old model so that players, newer players, especially who are not there day one, can get into party easier and have a smoother time transitioning their characters to the next level. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think that this is completely outlandish and they removed it for a reason, right? They're like, oh, we removed it for a reason because it didn't work, right? Or do you think that this is a great idea and you think that this would be a great and welcomed addition into Lost Ark? Or reintroduction, I guess. Let me know down in the comment section below. But as always, if you enjoyed the video, please remember to hit the like button, hit the sub button, ring the bell for notifications, and also I stream every single night on twitch.tv/MisoxShiru. So hopefully I'll see you guys there. But if not, hopefully I see you guys on the next video. But also, I know I was talking this about the podcast with Stoops and Coddy and Rebel that's probably happening tomorrow. Unfortunately, I think that might be postponed to sometime next week. We'll see. Still lots of moving pieces right now, but I'll keep you guys posted on that, probably in like a channel comment or something like that. But yes, hopefully I see you guys again soon. All right, guys. Peace out.